So abusuya one funny thing happen in NSAWAM prison. The chairman won to me amania or woman abusuya enye amania ketua abusuya angry inmates in NSAWAM prison no abusuya omo hante chairman won to me enye asam ketua kra chairman won to me abusuya say abufuo aba inmate no ase okọ NSAWAM prison am ho and now Mr. Chairman want to me a politician, there is some a special treatment be a omode man no na inmates na omo no omo tra omo se nyadia omo beti ase ne ana so beti ase china cause treatment ye de mom no say sa treatment na ye de ma chairman want to me enti no inmate no achi si chairman want to me out ewo NSAWAM prison wa abusuya chairman want to me areho akano na you say chairman want to me yes ahobrase wa bre ne ho ase you see ade wasan so atene sofo o preachi ewo NSAWAM prison or and the officer no shia wa na chese wa bow down to you any inmate no ye senior inmate chairman want to me who no bow down ain't no sisi ade chairman want to me say special treatment omode ba be mani nyina inmate no more na a petition say yen council sa special treatment na omode ma chairman want to me ewo NSAWAM prison wa black rasta e ho submission e de ababetuja credit goes to black rasta mama yenko na yenko nkoti ensma black e de tuja ye ba ye de beto am so unsubscribe ya subscribe na hit on the notification bell so na be any update be able drop no so onsa able to me akabi gossip politics tv so
NSAWAM prisoners demand Wontumi be released to them for action. Ha ha! This is an exclusive. Yesterday, Bawumia and a group of NPP people went to visit Chairman Wontumi. They drove all the way in a convoy to NSAWAM. And then they went to meet with Chairman Wontumi. Wontumi came out there very quietly and so humbled. And they spoke to him and gave him the assurance that they will keep fighting this in court until he's set free. They didn't say they were going to fight it in court and make sure that justice becomes the victor. They said that they would fight until he is free. In other words, it's one of two things. They already believe that he's innocent, and therefore he must not be in there, he must come out. Or they know that he is actually guilty as pronounced by the courts, but because of party affiliations and nepotism, cronyism, and nyafu didiism, they will pull him out. That's them going on the convoy. Yes, on that spree of going out there to flaunt luxurious cars and also to push everybody aside and walk like that in that convoy, parading exorbitant cars. Each of these cars can build a whole primary school in my village. My brother, my sister, look at the convoy. All these people went to visit a galamsey, a dirty galamsey, a braggart. My brother, my sister, that's them. And Chairman Wontumi, housed right there inside NSAWAM prison. Courtesy Joy News, we got these footages. And history has been made. Dash it away. Now, my brother, my sister, something interesting is happening inside NSAWAM prison. First and foremost, let's get to know how Wontumi was given 20 years in prison. We all know that he did galamsey. He assigned the land to some other people to go there and do their thing. Yes, he asked somebody to go there and plant coconuts. But the person who was supposed to plant the coconut is not a farmer. He's a galamsey. And that's what a lot of these galamseyers do. In fact, the owners of a lot of these concessions, they hardly go there, we are told. They rather assign other people to do the galamsey and then come and pay them what is their due. But that is illegal. Today, we are not going too much into that because we've talked about that already, the journey to the prison. But some years back, the crime of galamsey and its punishment, minimal. It was during the reign of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. They wanted Ghanaians to see that they were serious with the galamsey fight. And therefore, in Parliament, they raised the punishment from about 5 to 10 years to 15 years minimum and 25 years maximum to show seriousness. In fact, at the time, they even wanted shoot to kill. My brother, my sister, that was how the journey started. If Wontumi was convicted before this, he would have gone in for a lesser sentence, maybe 5 years, maybe 10 years. But the same NPP pushed the law. Now they are crying that is too much. Kwesi Pratt spoke on Good Morning Ghana on Metro TV, hosted by Moru Audu, my brother, my sister, and he took us through that journey. Listen to what he said. Watch this.
There are other issues. I will leave that out for the moment.
Right.
And those issues relate to those who argue that the sentence is too harsh. You understand?
Right.
The history of this particular sentencing is interesting. One, it starts from a point where I think the maximum sentence was 2 years. And then when Alhaji Musa Husseini was Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, so they initiated moves and increased the maximum sentence to 5 years and so on. Eventually, my good friend Gloria Akufu, who was the Attorney General at the point, also decided that the punishment was too lenient, the sentence, and went to Parliament to seek an amendment which would increase the threshold to 15 years. The majority in Parliament then argued that 15 years was too lenient and that it should be extended to 25 years maximum and 15 years minimum. Okay. And of course, it passed. Now, in the course of the discussion, a Deputy Speaker of Parliament, a member of Parliament on the majority side then, actually made the point that they are wasting time, that galamsey is so serious that the policy we should adopt is a policy to shoot and kill. The evidence is there. So those who said that even 25 years was too lenient and that we should shoot and kill, today are saying that the 20-year sentence is too harsh. I cannot believe it. They said 25 years is too small. In any case, this also means that the judge could have imposed a 25-year sentence if, in her view, the case merited 25 years. The least sentence she could have imposed is 15 years. That is what the law binds her to do. You understand? Now, what is interesting is that there were 2 counts on which he was found guilty. The judge decided that the sentences should run concurrently, and that is why he's going to serve 20 years. If the judge had not made a determination that the sentences should run concurrently, he could be serving 50 years. And the judge could have made that decision. He could have served 50 years. So the judge, in her wisdom, And I'm sure with some compassion, decided that instead of 50 years, he should serve 20 years. Now, Collins has made the point that 20 years is a long time. He's now how old? And that he'll come up when he's 70 and so on. The reckoning is not that way.
Yes.
The prison year is not 12 months.
It's actually 9, isn't it?
It's 9 months.
It's 9 months.
So if you do the calculation, he's not going to stay in prison for 20 years.
Maybe 15.
Or maybe even less.
Or less, yeah.
But in addition to that, every year, there's been no year in which the president has not granted some pardon to prisoners and so on.
Parole, yes.
Parole and all kinds of things. And that substantially reduces the sentencing and so on. Now, that is not to say that prison is a comfortable place. Prison is a horrifying place.
Yeah.
I mean, if you talk to people, I haven't been to the West prisons. I have friends who served in the West prisons, like Kukubaku and Harunata and so on. They were in the West prisons. But I've been to Akuse prison. I've been to Oshaford. I've been to Nabrongo prison as an inmate. I've been to Tamale prison as an inmate and so on. Okay?
Because you suffered, though.
No, that's not the point I'm making.
Yeah, no, but I'm just...
So, prison is not a place you would wish for anybody. Yes. Ghanaian prisons are terrible places to have people, you know. Even in NSAWAM prison, which in our days we regarded as a hotel, as a 5-star hotel.
Prison is supposed to be reformatory. It's supposed to reform people, not necessarily as a punishment. Yes, there's the punitive aspect, but what should supersede is the reformatory element. To reform you. But in our prisons, oh my God, it's worse than, I don't know what to compare it with. Overcrowded. 6 people would have to jump on the toilet at the same time. They join their buttocks together like this. This is mine, this is yours, another person is here, that person is here. Then you are all releasing missiles into the toilet bowl. Because you are so many. Many cannot wait for one person to go in there and come out. No, sir. Because of that, a lot of these people eat food that will constipate them. In our Ghanaian prisons, a lot of them have communicable diseases. The infirmary at a point is not able to take all of them. My brother, my sister. So this is NSAWAM prison. My brother, my sister. And the prisoners there, this is where the news is. Come here. They are angry that Chairman Wontumi is in the so-called VIP section. Remember we told you about it, the so-called diagnostic section, where about 50 people are kept on banked beds. They have a fan in there, and then they also have a TV that is connected to DSTV. The inmates are angry. They don't understand why some prisoners should be sent there. Some who have committed crimes that are worse than the petty stealing some of them did. Yesterday, as I speak, they already started speaking amongst themselves that they want Wontumi to be released to them, to come and join them, share the same toilets together, so that at least Wontumi can also taste the real prison. They have the main block. They have the diagnostic section. And that is where Wontumi is. Now, information reaching us is that when Wontumi comes out, and that is what it looks like. This is the NSAWAM prison, the reformatory center. My brother, my sister, Wontumi, when he comes down, anybody he meets, he bows down to greet the person. Take it from me. Can I say it again? Wontumi is at NSAWAM prison. The first day he spent so many hours praying in an all night. The next morning, he ran to the authorities saying that he was diabetic and that if he was kept there, he would die. They kept him at the infirmary. Anybody Wontumi meets now, he bows down to greet. He bows to greet officers. He bows to greet fellow inmates. Is it for fear that there would be an alluter there so that they would pull him out and make him join them in the main block? But in all humility, Wontumi presently bows before everybody to greet them and hardly raises his voice. Is it only the beginning? Is he already showing remorse? He has already told Baumia and his people that he has learned his lessons in just 2 days to 3 days. Then prison is truly good. If prison can make a hardened, arrogant braggart like this reform in just 3 days, my God, then a lot of us need to go there. It's a school for good teaching. My brother, my sister, I say when he meets prisoners, time after time, he bows to greet them. Somebody who people were bowing to here with us now is bowing before people and greeting people. He has already heard that there's a certain kind of anxiety amongst the inmates to have him removed from the diagnostic center so that he will join them and see the true, real prison where he would sit with some of these people. My brother, my sister, Chairman Wontumi is seeing his smoothness level. They want him released to them so they can show him something small. Now, Miracles Abuaje, who is also on his way to NSAWAM anytime soon, Hanan, Kwabena Edubuahini, all these guys who are gradually making their way to the NSAWAM prison might keep him company when they get in there. Woe betide any one of these guys who will go there and tell us the following day that he's diabetic or he needs eye drops that would have to be got from England or India. Woe betide any one of these guys who would go in there and be put into the so-called diagnostic whatever. Join them with the guys. Be bold. Be bold. Go and be with them. If they sodomize you once, twice, when you come out, you will see the other side of life. Miracles Abuaji has spoken. He thinks that the judge probably did not do a good job. That Wontumi was only victimized because he opened his mouth too much. He granted this interview on UTV. Watch this.
Facebook war. There has to be a follow-up.
No, I'm quiet. I am a pen minimum. That's all my opinion as a crab being a new to say, or Castle Nims and Crawford become not or bois. It's only moment. Any moment. And see, as for Chairman to be being used as a scapegoat for political, even such a moment to be dating for demon because of Galamsey. So, even because of Ninsam, the Numun Sam.
But so cocoa in Cassan.
Oh, Sunday, see, there's a difference between the enemy. And they are a dark ponoso.
But say, we're Embrania.
Oh, Ebi, no problem. Embradia, see, Embradia, you to me, you soon hear the Pebia, Embrani to me. With me, the idea Pebia. So, we will be with my bonnet. But that binds some of their chow. But the same one now, yeah, no, before I say, and never court. There's a big difference. Chama Wontumi asemi nipa nankasa oko asase no so koye galamsey na chama Wontumi no ono no oni ko so why koye galamsey o nipa nankasa oko asase no so koye galamsey so ono no yamfa na yam prosecute no so me say yam prosecute no nti ya ban choice it is a make sure say too many embra dey aban betumi use no so pe bia nti na any aban twen no.
So you see the line of argument. The one who really went to do the galamsey, the government did not prosecute the person, but they are prosecuting Wontumi. Look at the common sense he's put in there. Common sense in quotes. Hey, I gave this house to this man to take care of. Come here. I gave you this house to take care of. You are the one I am paying and holding responsible for this house. You allow people to come into the house with your permission. And whilst they were in there, they destroyed, they stole, and messed up my house. When I come, who do I hold responsible? But look at how he simplistically is spreading the lie shit. Common sense. That's what Miracles is saying. It hurts me when these people do their wrong things and the long arms of the law grab them. Then these same guys are doing propaganda. When will the nation grow? That's the point he's making. And the interviewer is so smart. It's like, but this is the law. You have been given a concession. You are the owner of the concession. You are responsible for anything that happens on the concession. Without the permission of the authorities, you bring in somebody on the land to plant coconuts. The person tells you that to plant those coconuts would cost a lot of money. Would you give me the money? You said you don't have the money, you can't give, despite bragging that you have everything in the world. Now we are told that the person says, okay, then if I can't get the money, it will be difficult for me to plant cocoa nuts. Then you tell the person that then there is gold there, why don't you dig out some of the gold and then plant the coconuts after you have sold the gold to make money? As to whether truly this was what happened or not, that is what is being peddled around. Now the gentleman goes on the land, he starts to do galamsey, illegal mining. He gets the gold and then he starts to plant coconuts on the farm with the proceeds of illegal mining. Now the long arms of the law come after Wontumi and you say, why is it that the other guy has been freed? What do we need him for? And you claim that is because of his big mouth. That is why Wontumi is in there. You put this in the head of that silly braggart. And he also thinks that he's a political prisoner. Is Mandela, Nelson Mandela. He will die in there. He has to learn his lessons. Be humble. Maybe he might get amnesty. We all would push for some amnesty for him. After it comes out that he has learned his lessons. After all, nobody deserves to be in there when they have achieved the purpose for which they were sent there. You are telling him he's a political prisoner. What politics? Who was Chairman Wontumi? Who made your own party fall right there at your own World Bank, the Ashanti region? Who was Wontumi? Even the vultures of the NDC do not want him. They don't want his carcass. It's too toxic for them to feed on. And they make Wontumi look so important, as if he is the brain behind the whole of the NPP. I appreciate his rise from wherever he was, but he's a non-entity as compared to the big wigs of the party. What is the influence of Wontumi? That you guys are making him feel like he is a political prisoner. He's Nelson Mandela. He's Steve Biko. He's Chachuchi Kata. No, sir. He's a dirty galamseya. And there are so many other allegations, accusations that are coming after him. My brother, he might end up being in there for another 20 years. The Exim Bank case is there. Tano Nimri is still staring him in the eye. Why can't we speak the truth? You are a little boy. What's his name? Miracles Abuache. You still have a long period ahead of you. Wontumi is 50. You are 40, 39, getting to 40. Do not jump into the fast lane. It's for your masters. Look at this line of argument. Absolutely no sense. You don't need to be a lawyer to know that to whom much is given, much is required and desired. I am put in charge. Why is it that when a commander of an army takes his soldiers out and the soldiers do something untoward, they kill somebody, he comes out to say that it's him and he's the one they normally hold responsible? Are you aware of that or not? Wontumi was the commander of that concession. He allowed nitwits to go in there, rodents to go in there and burrow into the ground. Now when they come to inspect and they realize that the land has been messed up, turned into a blighted site, what do? They go after the commander. It's common sense. You don't need a degree to understand this. Well, to the inmates of NSAWAM prison, the reason Wontumi is where he is because he's a high-profile person. There are a lot of you who know him and probably dislike him because of who he is. That is why he has not been released to you. Somebody might take the opportunity to hurt him. He's a public figure. So he needs a bit of that protection. Basically, that is what it is. If you are a public figure who would have stepped on so many other people's toes, there's the possibility that people might even hire some of you to harm this person. We have seen murders in prisons in some countries, hired killers, inmates in there who have been hired to do nasty things in different parts of the world. Thankfully, in Ghana, we haven't seen that and we don't want to see that. In every jurisdiction, they try as much as possible to protect high-profile, aka high-risk inmates. That is why he's in there. But I believe once in a while, they will release him to you to play football with. And remember, he says he's diabetic. Don't let him overrun. It's the black pot, aka Kokoshodemo. And here we speak truth to power.
So, abusia we ne ensema ekoso ewo political high unit so eye black rasta and I say odesa ensem no to I see a chairman Wontumi inmates no omo any abre ewo no so a enye easy grabada masesa mo jepene kokoti sa ensem we e de my gossip politics TV. So and don't forget to click on the notification bell so na be any update be dropping on so onsa e be to me akabi medamase.